Hi there, everybody. My name is Alistair Mokoena, Country Director for Google in South Africa. Welcome to Winning While on Holiday. This is an initiative born out of the fact that consumers' needs do not go away simply because it's holiday season. We all have needs for products and services, and therefore we need someone to keep the lights on while we're taking our much needed break. Consumers continue to search online for products and services on their mobile devices, and we need to ensure that brands are there to meet their needs. And also, we understand that we've come out of a tough economic environment thanks to COVID, and now all efforts are focused on economic recovery. And the last thing we need is to see a slowdown over the holiday period. So we're here to show you how digital technology can actually help keep the lights on while we're all taking a break. Through automation and artificial intelligence, brands can continue to engage consumers and users individually at every part of the customer decision journey through personalization at scale. So today, my team and I will demonstrate how machine learning can help deliver results across the funnel, and very importantly, can help brands stand out during the silly season. We will also share with you ideas on how tools such as display, YouTube, search optimization, as well as Performance Max can help ensure that marketing campaigns keep delivering results during these holidays. So with that, I'd like to hand over to the team to take you through the first part of our presentation. Enjoy.
Hi everyone, my name is Solomon Awushukwe. I'm an analytical consultant at Google, and today I'll be leading you through some market insights to help you win during the best period of the year, which is the holiday season. A period we all like to spend with family and friends, you know. But what's more can we do with that season? We can also win, right? I'm going to be leading us through insights showing how we can win during this season. Last year, we adapted to uncertainty. This year, let's be ready for it. During and after COVID, online sales have grown and continue to grow faster than physical sales. In fact, a recent study by Business Day in South Africa showed that retailers that were online last year gained about 300,000 additional purchases than previous year. During the same time, retailers that had only physical presence or physical stores with no online presence lost about 2 million orders on the same day during the online sales. This basically shows the opportunity online. During the holidays, people usually turn off from work, but turn on digital. And since it's the holiday season, competition is heightened. In fact, some believe holidays to be owned by retailers, but we are also seeing interest in other categories. For example, during the Black Friday, where retail searches peak, data has shown that there's also a peak in demand for credit and lending as consumers are looking for retail or credit facilities to support their buying patterns. Also, this particular trend continues onto the following year. I'll quickly run through a few search and YouTube overall opportunity. The truth of the matter is, across all verticals, there is always online activity for digital marketing. Today, with some research, I hope to identify a few things and show you the huge opportunities to either show up or show up even better for your customers if you have increased activity during this time. During the Christmas week, there is a dip in search activity that's usually offset by increased activity on YouTube. Dip is very small, and that happens usually in the week of Christmas. But during that same day or week, YouTube demand goes up a great deal as users are beginning to move from one particular platform to the other, from work to entertainment content. Contrary to popular belief, search demand grows during holiday season across SSA. Search continues to grow during the holiday season at 30% year on year across auto, food, finance, home and garden, insurance, and telco across all the three markets. With overall search growing by 24% in South Africa, 44% in Nigeria, and 27% in Kenya. Also, YouTube reach is also growing. In South Africa, it's currently at 18 million. In Nigeria, it's 32 million. In Kenya, a reach of 9 million. Everyone is online for their key holiday activity. And as a brand, you should be there also. Nearly half of all holiday shoppers are learning about promotions via Google search and YouTube. And regardless of their income band, shoppers turn to online channels for holiday shopping. This means it's important to find creative ways to capture the market. It's also important to note that gifting season is a long season. On average, 66% of holiday shoppers surveyed across select countries say they will be browsing for gift ideas online and not in store this season. And people continue to search for gifts even after the Christmas season. In fact, the search demand for gifts peaks closer to the new year. In summary, consumers are online and actively using their mobiles to find answers, as well as watching video content. However, despite these opportunities, digital campaigns usually suffer from the holiday pause and they still start in January during the change from one calendar year to another. This is due to a host of reasons, from creative constraints, less resources at work, depleting budget, to late or delayed budget sign off. I'd like to hear what your own reasons are. What is the reason at your company? Why does your campaign suffer or go through a slow start at the beginning of the year or towards the end of the year? You have the opportunity to reach them, your customers, where they are during the consideration and purchase stages. Not only that, but also and potentially at a really, really cheap cost because search is on sale across Nigeria, Kenya, and South Africa during this period. So the only question that remains is, will you be there when consumers are looking for you this season and for the verticals where activity is ramped up? How will you stand out? My colleagues will walk you through ways to help you do this, and the product can help you stand out. Here's to seeing you win this holiday season. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our session in which I'm going to be talking about search. My name is Jason Ontong, by the way. I'm the search specialist for Sub-Saharan Africa, and I've been at Google for around about 8 years. So it's great to be here with you all today and dive into the latest and greatest on search and why you should be using it. Why should advertisers care about optimization, you might ask? Most advertisers want to maximize their profitability of the Google Ads investment and stay ahead of competitors. While recent advancements in automation are helping them get there, perfectly executing day-to-day optimization of Google Ads is still challenging. Well, especially if you have multiple accounts and multiple customers that you might be looking after as an agency partner, or you might be a direct client who has just massive accounts that you have to manage. So we've designed something that we think can help you. This is where a tool called Optimization Score comes in. Optimization Score analyzes your Google Ads strategy across search, shopping, display, and YouTube video action campaigns, using proprietary real-time auction data and machine learning algorithms to produce a score of 0 to 100, where if you hit 100, your account is performing at its full potential. Besides generating a score, the system also generates recommendations on how to improve performance, with an estimated impact and an easy way to test and implement each recommendation. Recommendations are based on each advertiser's campaign objectives, such as maximizing conversions or conversion value, and are prioritized based on impact. The more you share about the kinds of conversions you want and how much they are worth to your business, the better the recommendations are. And now I'd like to just cover a great example of a customer who used OptiScore to drive performance. You see, on average, when advertisers use OptiScore to improve their accounts, they see a median 14% increase in conversions with every 10 points of OptiScore gained. And so, using this insight, HP used OptiScore to optimize their shopping campaigns prior to Black Friday. They use recommendations like adopting smart bidding, adding new audiences, and more to make it easier for them to achieve their marketing objectives. In addition, HP used Optimization Score to monitor their accounts across key markets to ensure best practices were followed. As a result of these optimizations, HP's shopping campaigns gained 6% share of voice and 10% in click share in the months leading up to Black Friday. During the holiday period, orders from shopping campaigns increased by 26%, and overall revenue growth increased by 19% year over year. This is during Black Friday, one of the most competitive times of the year to be a retail advertiser. So I hope that all our retail advertisers going into Black Friday are looking at OptiScore going forward. One way to ensure that you're always staying on top of optimization recommendations is to opt in to auto apply recommendations. And this way you'll stay optimized automatically. So what is auto apply recommendations? Well, let's find out. Auto apply recommendations helps you by applying recommendations in your account, ensuring that you're automatically using the latest best practices in Google Ads. To build trust with this feature, start by automatically applying only the most simple of recommendations that you're comfortable with. As an example, adding audiences for better reporting and insights. As positive results come in, start to add more impactful recommendations like expanding your smart bidding campaigns with broad match keywords. This approach will help ensure that the team trusts the process of automatically applying recommendations. You can, of course, turn on and off any automatically applied recommendation at any time. Applying these best practices will help your team improve optimization score, which in turn will improve, often dramatically, the performance of your Google Ads investment. As your team scales automatically applied recommendations, they will invest less time on optimization. This is another great benefit of optimization score. It creates the opportunity to invest more resources in high value work, such as creating a deeper understanding of customer behavior, a better use of data and analytics, and more agile testing. So, who wants to make more money from their Google Ads and invest their team's time in other high value work? If you do, use Optimization Score. I would now like to bring everybody's attention to another great example of how advertisers are using AAR to drive performance. Lever Interactive, an agency partner, sought account efficiencies across 500 plus accounts. Now that is one big customer. The team at Lever decided to opt into AAR in an effort to improve optimization score. After just 3 months of utilizing AAR, they saw a 102% increase in conversions across their accounts and 31% more efficient CPCs and a 32% lower CPA. Level Interactive increased their optics score by 19% and saved almost 47 hours in manual optimization time. Now, that is a great example of using your time effectively. Now, while AI and ML can help us with the way we optimize accounts and assist in keeping them optimized by automatically applying recommendations on our behalf that we select, of course, how else are we using technology to assist our advertisers to maximize the profitability of their Google Ads investment? Today, one of the biggest challenges of growing a business, despite attribution and assets and everything else, is planning ahead, which means forecasting different scenarios of growth. The plan that made sense for you a year ago or even a month ago isn't necessarily right for your business right now. In a consistently changing market, planning ahead is one of the biggest challenges. With advancements in machine learning, we are able to do that. Today, businesses like yours have more data, consumer signals, and are better able to act on them than ever before. Now, imagine a combination between your data and the data and signals available in the Google Ads auction, right? That's going to make for some powerful planning. In fact, 85% of executives believe that AI will allow their companies to obtain or sustain a competitive advantage. And this is just one example of how we enabling our advertisers to do just that. Performance Planner is a campaign and account forecasting tool in Google Ads that helps you remove the guesswork by automatically predicting clicks, conversions, and conversion values. It is based on your inputs of different spend levels and return on investment targets and helps you plan up to 18 months ahead. Fantastic, but how does it work? Well, we use 4 steps. Forecasting. Google search ad auctions from billions of searches per week powers our forecast engine. We use all data up to the previous day to forecast what is likely to happen to your campaign for future periods. Our forecasting engine then simulates relevant ad auctions with query level variables within the campaign's target region and industry. We simulate based on the campaign's last 7 days campaign settings and history. We then leverage machine learning to fine-tune forecasts and to achieve a higher level of accuracy. But just to be sure, we do backward and forward measurements of accuracy for 10,000 plus campaign samples across 1, 7, 30, and 90-day periods to ensure we're making validated recommendations. Now, with all this talk of machine learning and AI, that is great, but it might cause some people to worry. Will I still have a job if machines can do everything? Well, I'm here to assure you that your job is quite safe because we actually commissioned a study with BCG, the Boston Consulting Group, to see the effects of advanced tech in accounts, and the results that they found were staggering. The study sought to find the effects that advanced audience targeting, automated bidding, and automated creative optimization and data-driven attribution had on campaigns. The study found that these advanced automation techniques can increase revenue by up to 20%. The study also found that with human input, performance can increase up to 35%, proving the human input as a strategist can lead to big wins for our customers. So everybody, I'm here to tell you that it's a story of better together, not them versus us when it comes to machines. But I can also share with you another great example of how, when working together with machine learning, the results can be fantastic. So the following example is of a retailer based in Portugal called Dot. Using Performance Planner, Arena Media, their media team or agency team, was able to understand which campaigns needed more budget during November, when Dot had a full month of Black Friday style promotions. Furthermore, Performance Planner also suggested a shift in budget between campaigns to help them reach their ROAS goals. So I'd like you to just think back to last year and how unprecedented the time was. And so Dot and their media agency relied on Planner to forecast what performance would be like in the future. As a result of using Performance Planner, they saw a 187% increase in conversion value versus the same period last year. And they saw a 159% increase on ROAS versus the same period last year. And then as well, 223% increase in conversions versus the same time last year. So there you have it. Using ML and AI to drive performance is definitely the way forward, but obviously with human help still required. I hope you've enjoyed this session and that you will use some of the features that I've mentioned here today. If you have any other questions for myself or Google, please reach out to your Google rep and let us know. We'll be really keen to help. But my time has come to an end, and I would like to introduce the next speaker, Zanele Flatshueyo, my colleague from YouTube.
Hello, everybody. My name is Zanele. I am the YouTube lead for the SSA region. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I'm looking forward to sharing more information of the value of YouTube during the festive season. So let's jump right into it. I'm sure we've heard this a number of times, but the pandemic has fundamentally changed how we shop, and digital is a new front door. In fact, our research shows that in the last holiday season, 8 in 10 new customers engaged online during their shopping journey, with digital touchpoints such as influencers, online ads, and video over indexing on engagement. This points to an opportunity to really use video as an inspirational currency to attract interest this holiday season. The customers are ready to shop and choose brands that align to their needs during the festive season, and they've already started looking for those deals. In research that was conducted by eMarketer, internet users are more than willing to make a purchase on Black Friday if it's at the right price, with the South African consumer reflecting the highest interest. Even though this is the case, brands will have to work harder to acquire new customers, as many brands have ramped up their digital and omnichannel strategies this holiday. And with this notion, it will be critical for brands to cut through the noise in order to stay top of mind. Brands need to rely on channels that resonate with customers to become their go-to retailer. Even though more customers than ever are shopping digital first, many already have made their minds up on who they will buy from when they begin their shopping. Our most recent Ipsos research shows that 78% of holiday shoppers plan to stick with stores and brands they are familiar with this season. Brand associations continues to be required to drive purchase into 2021, and building top-of-mind awareness early is key in order to be considered. We saw this come to fruition last holiday season, with 88% of brands purchase being present in the initial consideration set. With 20% of our customers already shopping for holiday purchases based on the search data, now is the moment to build affinity with new customers to maximize mindshare throughout the holiday season. Being present in the most relevant and engaged environments will be more important than ever, and there is nowhere with more reach and relevance than YouTube and Google. Last holiday season redefined the role of YouTube in the shopper journey, with 43% of holiday shoppers turning to YouTube to inform holiday purchase decision. The question then that we need to be asking as marketers is, how do we then take advantage of YouTube during this festive season? We are going to look at 3 aspects that will help you connect with audiences during the holiday. Namely, starting with the season top in mind by reaching audiences you are missing on TV with the reach and relevance on YouTube. Secondly, how we inspire the undecided by activating an early intent signals to influence shoppers who are actively shopping and browsing. And thirdly, reducing friction to drive purchase with video action campaign that streamlines the path of purchase. Let's look at the first point and look at starting with the season top in mind. For many years, YouTube and TV have always been pinned against each other. At YouTube, though, we see TV and YouTube having a similar DNA since both platforms are consumed by audiences for information, education, as well as entertainment. We ran a study with Kantar that shows the impact on planning both on YouTube and TV in achieving reach and awareness goals. YouTube definitely plays a complementary role in extending reach beyond TV and connecting with those hard to reach TV audiences on YouTube. And one method that allows us to do that is extending your TV campaign by including YouTube's light TV viewers. This audience segment allows advertisers to reach people who consume most of their television and content online through either streaming or subscription service. Adding light TV viewers to your plan is a great way of extending your reach beyond TV. Beyond selecting relevant audience, YouTube provides advertisers with a suite of formats available that will help you attain your goals. Whether the goal is to drive reach, formats such as Bumper and Truby for Reach set you up for success. And if the goal is to drive awareness, formats such as Nunscape, for instance, provide you with an opportunity to drive that business goal. Now, let's look at how you can inspire the undecided by activating on early signals to influence shoppers who are actively shopping and browsing. With 8 properties that reach over 1 billion users, we have more signals from more sources than ever before. Google Signals help you to reach those who are your best potential customers. Our suite of audiences leverage intense signals from Google, YouTube searches, map searches, and app downloads to predict who's mostly likely to engage with your brand and deliver you results. As a brand, you can tap into this data to build more relevant and personalized ads. Consumers are more engaged with content they're passionate about, and this creates an audience on YouTube of actively engaged and leaned in users. Consumers are not only engaging with the content on YouTube, but the same is true when the ads they see are more personal and useful. Our audience solutions deliver proven results from increasing awareness through driving action to make your ads more relevant and capture the attention of your most valuable audience. Take advantage of Google's data and machine learning capabilities to connect intelligently with viewers at every stage of the consumer journey. And that means whether it's connecting and finding new audiences based on their interests or habits, or an audience actively researching or planning to purchase a product or a brand, or also engaging customers who have interacted with your business. We can connect with customers in a meaningful way in order for you to achieve your goals. Another important aspect of the festive season is how to reduce friction in order to drive sales, especially during a time where customers are exposed to so much information. YouTube is an important platform in the consumer's journey to purchase. Studies have shown that 70% of our consumers have bought a brand as a result of seeing it on YouTube. And that's why we've evolved TrueView for Action and scaled its best features to capture every opportunity your customers have to take action that you care about. And all of this in one campaign through video action campaigns. Video action campaigns increases conversion at more efficient costs by automatically scaling to top converting places across YouTube and its partners. Secondly, reaching more potential customers already interested in your brands or services. And lastly, it incorporates Google's machine learning in order to optimize the whole process. Now, if there are really 3 things that I'd like you to remember about YouTube during the festive season, are these. Extend your TV campaign by including YouTube in the plans in order to drive incremental reach. During this holiday, YouTube will provide you with an opportunity to inspire the undecided by influencing those who are actively searching as well as browsing. And lastly, YouTube is suited for every marketing goal, including driving your performance goals. Please contact your Google representative after this session in order to discuss any YouTube related opportunities. We really are here to help and to support you as our partners. Happy YouTube holidays. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Talushe and I'm an account manager at Google working with retail clients. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how you can get discovered in more places with discovery ads. So 86% of people turn to Google for ideas when you're deciding what products to buy. I know you've done it, I've certainly done it, where we want to search what brands, what products are available, where it has got the best sales when it comes to buying different products. So we want you to be able to use Google's understanding of shoppers' intent to help you find your best customers, because those who are actively shopping will definitely be the best prospects for you to get conversions from. So this is where Google's discovery ads come in. Discovery ads allow you to market across all of Google's feeds to find new customers at scale. And using our YouTube, Discover, and Gmail feeds, you're able to reach 3 billion users globally. Discovery ads allow you to extend your social strategy to Google in just a few minutes. All you need to do is provide specific assets that have performed well on your social feeds. You need to provide your key audience segments, as well as your bids and budgets. In return, Google will deliver ads that will integrate natively into our Google experiences on the Discover feed, in Gmail, and on YouTube. Will help you target the right user at the right time, and you'll be able to maximize either your conversions or specifically optimize for a target CPA goal. Discovery ads are a really durable solution. So as I'm sure you know, the digital advertising landscape is experiencing a huge shift. Shoppers are changing their user privacy preferences, and they're not buying from brands who may have privacy concerns. And more, we're seeing that ad technology itself is changing as well. There's a number of updates that are affecting the future of how we use cookie-based targeting. So as such, durable solutions that protect your performance are becoming more and more important. Discovery ads are a way for you to respect user privacy while continuing to allow you to have the best performance possible. So our audience and automation solutions help you maintain this performance despite the shifts in platform policies. Because you'll be using our unique audience solutions, these are based on intent-based signals rather than from cookie targeting or anything like that. So as a result, you're going to be reaching users in a really privacy-safe way. As well as this, you're also going to be finding the right user using our machine learning. Our advanced technologies allow you to find the right audiences at the right time by using the intent-based signals we're able to leverage. So for future-proofing your discovery ads, we've put forward a few audience best practices for you to keep in mind. First of all, advertisers who opt into our optimized targeting feature see 52% more conversions at a comparable CPA than your originally selected audiences. So as a key action, make sure you opt all of your ad groups into optimized targeting to improve your overall performance across all devices. Secondly, make sure you apply Google Custom Audiences. These are a really valuable audience for you to use to reach shoppers that have recently searched for intent-based keywords across all of Google's properties. So the key action from this is to create a custom audience ad group that includes 10 to 15 of your top performing keywords from search campaigns. Then lastly, make sure that you upload and share your first-party data to actually get incremental revenue from from the shoppers you've already have in your systems. Using customer match lists allows you to re-engage both Android shoppers without relying on cookies, but also those who you know have an interest in your brand. You can then use similar audiences to expand on these existing audiences and find more similar, valuable shoppers. Now, when it comes to audiences as well, we have a few other guidelines that are key for you to remember. When you're setting up your campaigns, make sure you're following our best practices to get the best optimal results. So customers who use a combination of re-engagement and prospecting audiences see 81% increase in conversion rates and a 25% lower CPA. So the re-engagement audiences we would recommend you focus on are your remarketing and your customer match audiences, and the prospecting ones are your similar audiences and custom intent. So when you're looking at the most valuable audiences, we wanted to make sure you start with your custom audiences. These are those who have searched for relevant keywords to your brand. So this is one ad group that we would make sure you always have. Then to expand, make sure you then focus on your customer match list. So this would be the first party data that you would upload, your remarketing audiences from those who've already been to your website, and your similar audiences. Then if you want even more scale, we would then recommend going into in-market audiences for those who are actively researching specific products or services that you offer. And throughout all this, make sure you keep audience expansion enabled to expand your campaign reach. Advertisers who use audience expansion see a 52% more conversions at a comparable CPA than just your originally selected audience. So make sure you always have audience expansion enabled. Then when it comes to creative, this is really important because creative is the main reason how a shopper gets engaged with a brand. So make sure you use your existing creative from your social feed to build your ads in Google Ads. You can actually use the Facebook ad library to upload your creatives from there into Google so that it saves you a lot of time. And when you're thinking about your asset selection, we have a few other tips to guide your creative strategy. Make sure you first start with single image ads and then go into multi-image carousel ads once you've seen success with the single image ones. For the single image ads, make sure you have at least 3 square, 3 landscape, and 3 portraits images to make sure you're covering as much inventory as possible. Discovery ads need as much creative options as possible to optimize and show the best image to the right user. So make sure you give it as much details and as much creative as you can. When it comes to the multi-image carousels, we'd recommend you use a minimum of 5 cards, all in the same aspect ratio, to tell a story about your brand or to maybe showcase specific products you have on sale this week, whatever the case is. Then lastly, the key thing is to make sure that your strategy accounts for all types of conversions. We want to make sure that when a shopper or a user clicks an ad of yours, we want to make sure that we're measuring conversions that happen directly on the discovery ad itself. So when someone clicks on it, or potentially we want to measure the conversion of when someone sees an ad impression and then they convert directly on your website. This is called a view-through conversion. So make sure you're using Google Ads conversion tracking so that we can fully track your conversions in a holistic way and make sure that you're evaluating the full value of discovery ads with view-through conversions as well. So we don't want you to take our word for it. UGG is a really well-known brand that has seen great success with discovery ads. The visual ad format that discovery ads provides, coupled with the fact that we're targeting users based on intent signals, has enabled them to see really, really good ROI from discovery ads. They saw a 10-to-1 ROAS after using discovery ads, as well as an 8 times higher click-through rates than the average click-through rates in their vertical, and they saw a 60% lower CPA than paid social. So discovery ads has worked really well for UGG, and it can definitely work very well for you. We hope you found these insights useful, and I'll be handing you over to Ed DeBurka now to talk to you about Performance Max. Thank you very much.
Hello, everybody. My name is Edward DeBurka. I'm an account strategist for Sub-Saharan Africa. Now, all that stuff you heard the previous speaker say was good, real good. But I'm here to tell you about something even more, well, good. Something simple, real simple. What am I talking about? Well, Performance Max, PM, the Prime Minister. But before I start to describe it to you, and as you gaze at this slide, I'm going to set the scene a bit. As you can see from this slide, Google offers a whole range of products from search to display to video to everything else in between. And that's all well and good. Lots of inventory, lots of reach, lots of machine learning and targeting. Now, but then, what does that mean for your day-to-day job of managing all this? Picture, if you will, an account manager sitting in a lonely office. Now picture all those products which are housed in different campaigns, all of which have to be managed individually, often by only one sad, lonely person. Now, when you're trying to push performance, whether sales or leads, managing a coordinated performance strategy across several channels can become very, very hard work very quickly. You've got assets that have to be managed individually and optimized. Budgets have to be moved around depending on where they're most needed. And then there's attribution, which is potentially more difficult because it's broken down by channel, different metrics by different format types. And you're also never sure you're capturing all the available and relevant traffic because you have to select targeting settings, not based on real-time data, but by what's happened in the past, which may or may not be accurate. For search, then, you also have to optimize keywords and bids. All of this takes time, even if you do use the recommendations tab. Hint, hint. Then there's the area of machine learning. Now, none of these campaigns are going to be working together by default. They benefit from machine learning for sure, but individually. You have to try to gauge how well they're doing one apart from the other. They might have the same conversion action, but it's still essentially a case of different campaigns functioning on their own. Now, this means that when you have more than one campaign pushing a certain product, you have to manage all those different campaigns with all those different assets in different places, with the possibility of budget imbalances and so forth. So much time, so much pain, such a sad, sad, lonely account manager. What to do? Wouldn't it be so much easier simply to set a goal, throw in all your assets, and then just sit back and look at the end results? Not to have to worry about all that optimization work and stress. But wait, there may be a fix on the horizon. Of course, there's a fix on the horizon. Anyway, Google has been pushing automation for a while now, as you may have noticed. It started off with conversions, and then there were match types, and then smart bidding and target CPA, then audiences, then DSAs, then RSAs. Now, much of this was a bit daunting when it was first introduced, step by step. After all, how do I know how this stuff works? Or if it works? And what happens in those dark places where the algorithm burrows away? But you got used to it. You began to see that all this invisible chemistry that went on behind the scenes was useful. And what's more, here are two further things. A, if someone offered to let you to go back to using just keywords with none of this automation, would you do that? Probably not. Just a wild guess. And B, given how well this stuff works, it proves that trying out new technological leaps is worth the risk. But back to the long-awaited fix. Ta-da! Given all the above, along comes Performance Max. But what is Performance Max? Well, it's a new type of campaign which is about to make all of your lives easier. Surprise, surprise. The original plan was based on the idea that A, again, A and B, A, it would be very useful to save account managers a lot of time. B, it would be very useful to allow advertisers use all of those products mentioned above in as simple a way as possible. And now we're on to C. C, it would be great if all those channels could work together. And D, it would be really, really useful to put all assets, including variations, in the same place, and then use all the machine learning gained by all of those campaigns, little Russell Brand there, to push performance across all those channels, with the system constantly testing which assets would work best where and to which user when. And yes, I did write that. In short, the people behind the scenes reckoned, why not introduce a single campaign type that combined all of these: video display, dynamic search, not keyword based, by the way, but anyway, URL target, formats, machine learning, budget sharing, all in one place with a shared goal and a shared budget. And what's more, because that shared goal or goals is set out when setting up the campaign, right at the beginning, the system can adjust the assets and supply recommendations which are aimed at pursuing that goal. Not just by channel or format either, but by individual headline, description, picture, and video. You don't need to worry about targeting. You don't worry about moving budgets. You just point the right URL at the right country and let her rip. That's right. Now, Performance Max lets you do all of this. And here are some of the obvious benefits, apart from the ones above. First of all, it's goal-based. Goals. What does this actually mean, I hear you ask? Well, it means that the campaign with all its assets is geared up to target your business goals above all else. This is crucial in order to maximize performance from Google Ads. It means that you can select a goal or goals when setting up, and then when your advertisements are being served, the system will push recommended features and settings that can help reach that goal. For example, if you select sales, the system will recommend features that start the purchasing or conversion process, such as bidding strategies aimed at clicks, extensions, and ads that show to potential customers as they browse sites, videos, and apps that partner with Google, and so on. And that's a quote, by the way, if that sounded a bit clunky. It's from the official support page. And anyway, in this case, this will all happen across all formats and channels, so making your life much easier. Conversions. Performance Max is, as the name suggests, aimed at pushing performance. As such, in contrast to standard campaign types where various channels work in isolation along relatively strict targeting settings, in this case, the Performance Max campaign, singular, So only one thing to manage, uses machine learning across all formats to push that conversion using real-time auction data across all channels. Gone are the days of optimizing after the fact. And you can also use conversion values to give even more data from which the system can target your advertisements. Now, on to budgets, as Elvis might say. No longer do you have to optimize budgets manually, desperately trying to find where the money is needed, wrangling with different teams, trying desperately to argue to move a few measly cents from a search to a video campaign. Now the machine does it for you. Do you still use sticks to light your cigarette? If you still smoke, as I occasionally do? No, I don't anyway. So why update budgets manually? Aha. Reporting. You can see now which channels and formats really work. You'll be opted into all of them, and you can see which ones work best with which audiences. The system will react to signals in real time and will give you a much truer picture of how things are going. Now, moving on. A few extra add-ons. Try not to hold your breath all at once. The first of these is audience signals. So basically, this allows you to opt into to allow audience signals to be part of the actual targeting. So at the very auction level. And this means that in addition to machine learning, you can use audience signals as an extra source of data for the actual algorithm to use to find you useful users. So that's the first one. Next, you can add conversion values, and this helps do the same thing. Again, more information. Often there are less obvious conversions which lead to the goal you've set, and adding values allows the system to judge how to prioritize spend to get the best from these. Now, finally, we started out with a slide asking, how do your advertisements normally look? Okay, it was at the top of the slide, for those who didn't read it. Well, how will they look now? You might ask. Well, a bit like this, i.e. exactly the same. But they look like this with less optimizing, less wasted time, fewer budget problems, and a younger, happier, more stress-free, less lonely, less miserable you. So I hope that's cool. Anyway, I shall now be handing over to Leah, the august next speaker. Over to you.
Hello and welcome everyone to the Winning While on Holiday Google event. For those that don't know me or haven't worked with me yet, my name is Leah and I'm an account manager sitting in Dublin normally, working with the African large customer sales team. Prior to that, I was working in the Irish and UK markets, helping businesses grow and achieve their revenue and business goals. However, it is a great honor to be here with you today to discuss a little bit more about how we can package together everything we have heard about to make sure that this holiday season we are winning whilst we ourselves are on vacation. Essentially, where to begin? What we heard about today was that there is an opportunity to engage with Google's 9 properties across 1 billion users on a global scale. Specifically, within the sub-Saharan market, we have an opportunity to take advantage of the seismic demographic shifts that are happening across consumer behavior, and meaning that customers are searching for us where previously they hadn't. The challenge remains the same, finding a needle in a haystack. But the problem is that as consumers are becoming more technically savvy and impatient than ever, that haystack becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. If you will have ever worked with me or any one of our Dublin account managers, you will have heard us talk about the marketing funnel again and again and again. This marketing funnel we perceive to be a linear journey from awareness to consideration to intent and action. The consumer journey was supposed to mimic this, the linear journey of what am I looking for? What am I seeing? What do I think when I do that? And what action do I need to take? Lastly, we also speak about a care impact, the loyalty impact. Why should our customers come back to us? As that haystack has become bigger and bigger and bigger, and our customers are becoming more impatient than ever, this journey has started to take a less linear shape. And our challenge to show up across each points of awareness through to loyalty and care has become increasingly challenging. Today, I would like to talk to you about how we can piece together the various solutions that my colleagues would have spoken to you about to make sure that this holiday period, you can be taking advantage of the consumer trends that mean customers are still searching for us whilst we ourselves are taking a well-deserved break. To summarize, you would have heard Solomon talk about the huge shifts in activity happening, especially across departments and verticals that had previously experienced an off period over Christmas. These will include finance and automotive, just to name a few. And on average, we have seen an increase of about 32% of activity during this time. We then heard a little bit more about Google solutions and how these come into play here. How are Google solutions growing at the same rate that consumer trends and activity is growing? You will have heard from my colleague Zanele about how we can utilize YouTube products to make sure that we are constantly showing up and allowing ourselves to be seen during the awareness part of our opportunities. Beyond that, we've also spoken about how we can combine that with TV activity that will be on over the Christmas holiday to make sure that we are maximizing reach and creating impact. We then also heard from my colleague Toulouse, who spoke a little bit more about discovery ads, which is one of Google's most automated and efficient solutions to generate consideration. As we will have seen that this linear process of the consumer journey is becoming more and more messy, we need to make sure that we are relying on consideration products to actually make sure that customers are choosing us over a competitive peer set. And discovery ads are one of the best tools to do so. We then would have also heard from Jason and spoken a little bit about how we can actually use Google's automated solutions across AAR and other search techniques to make sure that we are constantly showing up for our customers as and when it is important for them, as and when they are searching for us. This will always remain the core focus of Google Marketing Solutions, and therefore AAR is one of the quickest wins you can be utilizing in your accounts today and every day over the holiday period. Most excitingly, however, we would have heard from my colleague Ed, who spoke a little bit about Performance Max, which is Google's newest beta solution, which encompasses all the Google suite across and utilizes a variety of Google signals from all across the marketing funnel to make sure that we are showing up across YouTube, display, and search, all in one go. This is definitely going to be the main focal point of Google's marketing solutions moving forward in the future, and it's certainly something that I would recommend implementing and testing in your account today so that you yourself can go away on holiday knowing that the marketing solutions are there to capture the traffic that we otherwise might be missing. Overall, today you would have heard me talk about how consumer behavior has caused us to have to rethink the marketing funnel. However, Google's marketing solutions, when using automation, are the best trick we have in our books to make sure we can continue to capture and stay ahead of these trends. I hope today has been useful to talk a little bit about how we can capture holiday traffic that we have previously not seen before, and also to showcase the opportunity, not just for this holiday period, but for 2022 as well. Thank you very much for your time today, and I do hope that you have a wonderful